Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. In this video, we will learn about dilution. What we will discuss today are first on the understanding of the concept of dilution. The second one, we will look at the formula and the unit used for dilution. And lastly, we will learn on how to perform a calculation involving dilution. The concept of dilution. Dilution is a method used to make a solution more diluted from its originally more concentrated form. For example, in the beginning, you may have 6.0 molar of HCl. But at the end, towards the dilution method, you can get 1.0 molar or 2.0 molar or even more diluted 0.1 molar. The most common way of making a dilution is by diluting a small amount of a more concentrated solution. This is we call the stock solution by adding a certain amount of solvent. The solvent that we use usually are water. Okay, let's talk about Alex's situation in the lab so that you can understand why dilution is important in performing any kind of experiment in the lab. Today, Alex have to perform an acid-base titration experiment using 0.1 molar of hydrochloric acid. But unfortunately, Alex cannot find the needed concentration when he looked at the chemical shelf in the lab. What he found instead was a more concentrated form of HCl, which is 6.0 molar. This concentrated solution is what we call the stock solution. The stock solution is the solution that the school bought and are readily available in the lab. So what Alex needs to do is to use the dilution method to dilute a small amount of the stock solution to get the goal concentration. In this case, 0.10 molar. So, how to dilute the stock solution? To dilute the stock solution, first, Alex needs to extract a small amount of the stock solution from this bottle here using a pipette and then add it into the empty 250 ml of conical flask. Next, Alex needs to dissolve the small amount of the stock solution with water as solvent. The water needs to be filled up until it reaches the calibrated mark. Why? This is to ensure that the volume of the solution is exactly 250 ml. And you are finished. There you get your newly diluted 250 ml of HCl. But the problem is how much HCl solution from the 6.0 stock solution did Alex need to add to get the goal concentration? Don't worry, it's easy. You just have to use the dilution formula. M1V1 equals to M2V2. Okay, let's look at the formula. M1V1 equals to M2V2. Okay, what you need to understand first is at the left hand side, we got M1V1 for the number 1. And then the right hand side is called M2V2, the number 2 area. For the left hand side area is for the stock solution information. For the right hand side is for the new diluted solution. Right? Okay. M1 refer to the molarity of the stock solution. So your unit can be molar, M, or mole per liter. V1 is for the volume of the stock solution, and you use the unit liter. M2, the same as M1, is the molarity, but the difference is it is for the molarity of the new dilute solution. V2, of course, is the volume of the new diluted solution. Okay, let's recall back to the question. Okay, in order to perform the titration experiment, Alex need to have 0.10 molar of HCl solution. How would 250 ml of 0.10 molar of HCl be prepared from the 6.0 molar of HCl, or the stock solution? Okay, the first thing that you need to do when you encounter a question is you have to list out all the important information. So in this case, we find 0.10 molar of HCl. So 0.10 molar of HCl is the M2, the molarity of the new diluted solution. And then 250 ml. 250 ml is the volume of the final, or the volume of the new diluted solution that we want to find. Okay, 250 ml, and then we convert it into liter, 0.25 liter. And then 6.0 molar. This is the molarity of the stock solution. So M1. So lastly, the only one that we don't have the information is the volume of the stock solution. Remember the one in the pipette. Okay, so how to find this? Okay, after you have list out all the information, okay, write out the formula M1V1 equals to M2V2, and then you just have to substitute the variable with the value. So M1 6.0 molar, V1 the one that you want to find, M2 0.10 molar, and V2 0.25 liter. Make sure that you get all the unit correct, and then substitute the number correctly. Okay, so V1, you can solve it mathematically. V1 equals to 0.004 liters, or simply 4 milliliters. So conclusion is only 4 ml of the stock solution needed to prepare for 0.10 molar. So inside here is only 4 ml that you extract from the bottle of the stock solution, the 6.0 molar. It's a very small amount of stock solution that was needed, and then the rest was just filled out with water to make up until 250 ml of the new solution. So logically, the more concentrated your stock solution is, the less amount of it that you will need to prepare for a new diluted solution, especially if the difference in concentration is very large. Just like this one, your stock is 6.0 molar, and then your goal concentration or the diluted you want to get is 0.1 molar. So the greater the difference in the concentration, the least amount of the stock solution that you need to add with water to make up for the new solution. Alright, that's all. That's all for this video. Thank you, and don't forget to practice more questions.